Wishing you guys a very happy Thursday. I am I am posting my notices about this particular live. I am moving very slow. One of the things that I did want to discuss, I think one of the things I've learned during the process since I've made this particular channel is that um, I don't have time on the other live, on my Tuesday live, because we have so many things to talk about going on in the world. I don't necessarily have time to just rant. And I wanted this to be like a peaceful, meditative channel. So maybe I can rant my way to peace. Maybe I can rant my way to peace. I feel like I have more time and I have more runway on this particular channel. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I was in the process of saying, okay, going live at 2 p.m. Can you post going live at 2 p.m. at 2:02? Can you do that? It's a very me thing to do, but it got done. Shout out to Kit, my man Kit and Misfit Toys. I mentioned that I am moving slow, and there's a real reason for that. It is because I have attempted in my infinite wisdom, because the weather's nice. I'm a big runner. I like to run. That is my preferred form of exercise. The weather was nice, and I'm seeing people out here running and biking and doing whatever. So I figured now is the time for me to get out here and run. And as what happens at the beginning of the season, every season is my body's like, what the hell is this? What is this? Typically at the beginning of the running season, my body has been lying dormant, ashy, and dry, and well hydrated all winter. That is typically how my body enters into running. This particular season, I've been on the bike. I've been doing my Peloton. I've been working hard. I'm in pretty good shape. I'm in pretty good shape. And I thought because I was in pretty good shape that I would be a good candidate to just get out here and run. And I'm going on vacation next week, by the way. I'm not sure what my live schedule will be. I won't be doing the Tuesday over on the other channel, but I might do lives on this channel because this channel is just about grip it and rip it. This channel just turn on the camera and go. So I might go live on this channel. So I decided I'm in pretty good shape. So I'm just going to get out here and I'm going to run all this week, and I'm allow my body to recover while I'm laying on the beach next week, and then come back and I'm good to go. I'm good to go. That was my plan. And then I ran on Tuesday and felt okay. It's not too bad. My lungs had to, it was, my lungs were like a car's exhaust that ain't been driven in 20 to 30 years. Like, it was just pumping out like all the stuff, pumping out all the cigar smoke and whatnot. Even though I've been on the bike, it's almost, I know you use different muscles when you run. I didn't know I use different lungs. Apparently I use different lungs when I run, because I don't know where all that good shape and good condition from being on the bike all winter is. I don't know where that went. I don't know. So anyway, I did my run. I went and came inside. I got in the shower, and I'm thinking, okay, that felt pretty good. So I run tomorrow, and I run Thursday and Friday, and then you go, and then it's all good. And then as soon as I got out of the shower, I took one step out of the shower, and my body said, sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. I don't know what you thought this was. I don't know who you thought we were. I don't know what legs you thought you had, but sit your ass down. And I've been moving like an elderly person ever since. Going on a couple of days now. I don't know if I'll be able to get a second run in before I go to the beach. So, so there you have it. I'm forced to deal with my own limitations, and it might be helpful for me. It might be instructive on this particular channel, dealing with the trials and tribulations of getting a channel off the ground. And you put content out that you think is fire, and you see it's got 8 looks, not even views, just looks. Like 8 people scroll, 8 people scrolled across it. They ain't view it. They just 8 looks. It got 8 looks. You know, accepting where you are and moving forward in good faith, and putting your best foot forward. There's lessons to that. Supervillain said, I jog in all weather, whether it's 90 degrees or 30 degrees. Now, here's the thing, Supervillain. I hate cold jogging. I hate cold exercise. I hate it. I hate it. It's trash in the beginning because you're super uncomfortable in the beginning. Then your body starts to warm up, and there's a window where you are comfortable, right? Where your body is actually comfortable because your body is warming itself up. There's a window in which you are comfortable. And then you leave the window in which you are comfortable, and you get uncomfortable because you're wet now. So not only am I cold, I'm also wet. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I see people on Facebook. By the way, I decided to go back to Facebook because Instagram just wasn't. I mean, I couldn't figure out whether, the landscape and the vertical, horizontal. I couldn't figure that out. So I'm back to Facebook. I might try X. And see, even though I have deep feelings about X. I have very deep feelings about X, as evidenced by some of the videos I put out. So I see Sharon Rogers said, don't depend on meta platforms. The algorithms will never work in your favor. Well, to your point, Instagram is a meta platform. It did not work in my favor. I do have one thing I want to say to you guys. Since I'm not going live on the other channel, I'm kind of. How y'all feel about OJ passing? I saw that news today, and I was like, all right, well, that's not really in my purview. You know what I mean? That's kind of outside of the realm of things that I focus on my channel for the most part. But it's not. It's really not. It's not. It's not at all. So I have the time. I'm at home. I feel like something like that. If I wasn't going on vacation, I might be more on the fence about it. But I was like, you're leaving. You're here now. You can actually respond. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be a window where you can't respond, or at least you can't respond with it looking halfway decent. You're here now. You need to respond. So I was like, okay. Because this is the thing about OJ. And the other thing I have to keep in mind is people are conflicted on whether he's guilty or not. Apparently still. I know the jokes are that he did it, but apparently, according to the timeline, people are still conflicted about whether he did it or not. So I'm like, here's the thing about OJ that I feel like you cannot dispute is one of my favorite jokes. I think about it all the time, actually, not with respect to OJ, but just as a concept, right? So you remember when you remember when Chris Rock did Bring the Pain, and he was talking about people after OJ was innocent. It was like celebrate, like we won, we won, we won. And he's like, every day I look in my mailbox for my OJ prize, nothing. I think about that joke all the time, just from the concept of people celebrating things that don't like benefit them, right? What's your prize? Like, what's your OJ prize? I think about that all the time, right? One thing I think you can't dispute about OJ is two things. One, OJ did not want to be a member of the Black community until he had no other choice and no other community would take him in. Okay, that's number one. Number two, OJ was the beneficiary, both with respect to his defense by Johnny Cochran, as well as, in my mind, the verdict and the fallout. He was a beneficiary of a long legal legacy of Black disenfranchisement. There was a critical, there became a point up to and during that trial in which there was a critical mass of attention that was paid, and he was made to be ostensibly almost like a potential martyr or a proxy for Black America. That's what he was made to be, and he was the beneficiary of that because this was almost like a racial. This was made to be a racial reckoning. That's what this case was made to be, and it's really bothersome that the people whose pain and injustice paid for OJ to be able to push and paint this narrative got absolutely nothing from OJ being acquitted. Now, you could also make the argument that you needed somebody in the form of OJ in order to bring attention to these kinds of things. So if you don't have a person who people feel the way that they feel about OJ, then you don't necessarily get the conversations that we were having in the early 90s. That's a real argument that you could make. But it also allows, right? Like once he's acquitted, think about it. Like once he's acquitted, shortly after that, we get the crime bill. A year or two after that, we get the crime bill, and things get really dark in the 90s, right? In the early 2000s. I know that from being in New York. But OJ allows something for people to point to say, you know what I mean? We talk about the racism and the injustice in the criminal justice system. Now he gives them something to point to enable them to continue to move in that direction. So clearly, it is in the purview of things that I typically talk about. So I guess we make an OJ video. So I'll make an OJ video on the other channel. I didn't mean to go down that rabbit hole because that is not what this particular channel is for. This channel is for discussion and healing. I hope you guys are feeling physically a lot better than I am right now. I am hoping to be in a better place when I come to you both physically and psychologically. I've just been working very hard on the last week until I go on vacation. I don't know if you ever done that where it's like you're about to go on vacation, and so you like really stress yourself before you go on vacation. You're like, oh man, when I just get. Meanwhile, you know, if that's the energy you're taking on vacation, that's the energy you're going to start vacation with, right? That's why I say serenity now, not serenity next week. It's not serenity on Saturday. It's serenity now. You have serenity now. You can take that serenity with you when you go on vacation. So that's something that I know. I was so in my head this week. I missed the whole eclipse. And get this, I was outside. I had seen stuff about the eclipse on social media. I'd seen stuff about it. But I didn't really pay attention to where, I didn't really pay attention. Like, I saw it and scrolled past it because I was looking for ideas and whatnot. So I didn't really see what was going on. But I woke up that day. I'm all off my sleep schedule. That's a story for another time. But that's just actually a story for now. But I'm all off my sleep schedule. So I woke up and it was like, start doing stuff. I went out to walk the dog and I'm like, it's gonna rain. I was like, kind of overcast out here because I was gonna go outside and have a cigar, but I was like, it's gonna rain out here. I don't know what's going on. You know what? Let me go get my work done inside and see what's. So I went inside for like another couple of hours. Like I was inside working and writing stuff and shooting stuff and then I decided, you know what, let me go eat before I go outside. So I went downstairs to go eat. Now let me go take a shower before I go outside. I come upstairs, take a shower. Up here, I get distracted. I start working on some other stuff. So I am just spending the lion's share of what was a beautiful day inside, just because I'm working and oblivious to the world around me. So I finally go outside and it gets real dark. And I'm like, also, I know, I forgot about this. There was a lot of people outside. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't want to go outside. It's too many people out there. No, because it's too many people out there. No, because they loud and then people want to talk to you. I'm like, no. It's too many people outside. I don't want to go outside. I have reached the age in my 4th decade. I don't know exactly when I got here. I have reached the age in my 4th decade where too many young people congregating leads me into the other direction. Like I remember when that used to be hot. Oh, something going on. No. Too many young people congregating. I'm out. Too many young people. If you have a lot of older folks, that means it's something I probably should pay attention to. If you have a lot of young people, I'm out. This can't be going nowhere good. Best case scenario is my time is wasted. Or maybe I get roasted. Worst case scenario is I end up having to give some sort of police statement. So I don't want, it was too many young people. I live around a lot of young people in DC. It was too many young people outside. And now I know you listening. I know you listening to me, Samsung Galaxy. I know. That doesn't shock me at all. It's too many young people outside. I said, I don't want no smoke. I don't want nothing to do with this. So I actually loitered inside and waited to see if the people would clear out. They didn't. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna go outside. I went out there. It was like, is it gonna rain? I don't know what's going on. You know what? Let me go inside and microwave my coffee and go get some coffee. So I went to go get some coffee. I put it in the microwave because, of course, I made coffee early in the morning because I was supposed to be outside a long time ago. My coffee's in the microwave. While my coffee's in the microwave, I get on my phone and I start just seeing what's going on in the world today. What's the number one trending thing? The eclipse. Oh, that's today? Is that why it was overcast? So it's not gonna rain. It was wow. Oh, okay. Well, let me see. When is the deepest part of the eclipse? The deepest part of the eclipse here in DC was supposed to be like 320 or something like that. It was like 324. When I'm inside, just waiting for my coffee to finish getting out the microwave. That's how oblivious I was. I was outside, literally went inside for the deepest part of the eclipse here in DC. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Number one. Number two, the lesson, your surroundings have things to teach you if your eyes are open. The whole point of mindfulness, right, is to be in the present moment, right, and having a true human experience with the world around you. I am so out of the moment, so not having a human experience that I didn't take in any of the indicators that a Earth event was happening, even though I knew that sometime in the near future an Earth event was happening. Because that wasn't the first thing I had seen about the eclipse. I saw it last night. I had seen it. I just didn't pay attention to when it was. I didn't even look it up. So disappointing, but maybe I would like to take the mindset that these indicators occur to remind you to take corrective action before something catastrophic happens. You know, I like to use the analogy of the indicator lights in the car, right? So these things happen. They're like the indicator lights in the car, just to let you know something is off before you going 60, down 95, and there goes the axle. So they're just trying to, trying to help you to maintain. So as disappointing as that is that I missed the eclipse, and it was rough because that whole day it was just like the timeline was just flooded with people's eclipse pictures, and it just pissed me off. It just inflamed me further. In fact, my wife's family was down in Ohio, was like in the path of totality. I didn't want to see none of it. And probably for the rest of my life, I probably will be triggered by seeing any of that content. I'm out. Because I had to go in and get some coffee. And you know what? There were so many points in time during that day where if I would have chose something different, right? If I'd have chose to go outside earlier, I probably would have noticed all the glasses and the boxes, and that would have triggered, like, you know what I mean? Like so many things. Like I made all the decisions that would keep me blinded to actually experiencing the eclipse. It wasn't for me, apparently. Apparently the eclipse wasn't for me. Now, speaking of not for me, because I think I titled this, what did I title this? Losing Your Temper in Church. All right, let me get a drink. Hold on. Adrian Wallace said I took a nap. You took a nap during it? Did you miss it too? Okay. So maybe the way I'll structure these lives is I just go off for 30 minutes and then heal for 30 minutes. So my son, my youngest child, is going to be baptized. And my wife has been badgering the church to take care of all the logistics, because apparently this particular institution operates like a dollar store. Like I've never seen a place that is more understaffed. And I don't say that because there's no people around when you're physically there. There's people around when you're physically there. They just operate like it's one person's part-time job to run everything. That's how they operate. They don't answer the phone. They don't call you back. They give you conflicted information. I'm like, I don't Thank goodness you're a church and not a business, because if you actually had to balance the books, y'all would have gone under a whole long time ago. Like y'all only can survive from people just giving you money. That's the only way an institution that is run this way could survive, right? This particular church is special to my wife and I, and so we wanted to have the experience of my son being baptized here, and that it kind of had sentimental value. She recognizes how bootleg this is. This is her frustration. I'm frustrated because things don't move forward, but she's the one who's like on boots on the ground. So she's taking the beating more so than anybody. So she's definitely aware, right, of the frustration. She's probably my wife don't get particularly frustrated, but if my wife were capable of getting pissed, she would be pissed. I don't think she's capable, but the extent to which she can be pissed. So I've tried to get her pissed about a lot of things. Okay. I brought a lot of things to her attention and want her to get pissed, and she won't. So I guess you got to take that. You know what I mean? I'm definitely the beneficiary of that in a lot of instances. People be pissed at me and she is not. Finds another outlet for it. So I guess you got to take the good with the bad. But then you want her to be pissed, and then she's not. So anyway, we had to take a class in order to baptize my daughter, who was also baptized here. We had to take a whole class, and I was not happy about it, but we went and we saw some clips from some Disney movies that they had related to the gospel, and it was a whole thing. It was like an hour or some change class. They want us to take the class again because apparently they lost such faith in the guy who gave us the class the first time. I don't know what he did. I don't know who he angered, but apparently the man that taught the class the first time was living so foul, okay, that they decided that anybody that took his class don't count. I'm like, what did he do? What did he was stealing out the collection plate? All of a sudden, his transgressions fall upon me. Now, my class don't count because you lost out. What did he do? What did he do that was that bad that now the class that I took with him don't count? They want us to take the whole class a whole second time. They want us to take the class. I was mad about that. I was frustrated about that. But I said, you know what? If they are going, yes, a class, supervillain, a class. They want to take a class. It's like an hour and a half, 90-minute class early on a Saturday. They want us to take a class. So now we got to take it a second time, which means what? We got to get childcare. Now it's costing us money to take this class. Like, so my wife told him, she's like, look, we already took the class. We don't have childcare. Like, she spoon fed you. Oh, whatever, you're fine. Like, she literally spoon fed you. We know you don't want to deal with it. You don't even want to answer the phone. You don't even want to answer the phone. You don't want to deal with none of this. We trying to take something off your plate. We trying to take something off your plate and tell you, you know what, it's cool. That's what we trying to do. Instead, oh no, like he really wants y'all to come. So just bring the kids. It's fine. Is it? It's fine. Just come down on a Saturday with the kids. Because that's where they want to be, in church on a Saturday. But that's exactly where they want to be. So we had to go down there on Saturday. That's how my sleep schedule got all messed up, by the way. I said that's how my sleep schedule has not recovered from this. But we had to go down there on Saturday and to take this class for a second time to get my son baptized that I know we don't need to be in. Why is the first thing out of their mouth. I don't remember the class that we took the first time. I don't remember anything about it. At least until they started the second class. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same handouts. It's the same video clips. I think you serving the same coffee. Are you serious? I think that's the same. I think that's the same pineapple from 2 years ago that was sitting right there. The same class. I don't know if you've ever, like, if you asked me what happened in that class, I couldn't tell you. But the second I went to that class the second time, I was like, oh, and then he did it, and then, yeah, and then is that scripture, and then now we're going to talk about Philippians. The whole thing. The whole thing. I knew the whole thing. Which means it was a total waste of time. Total waste of time. Thank goodness my kids were well behaved, right? Thank goodness my kids were. I'm just sitting there. Now, see, this is my problem. So I'm pissed that I'm there. I'm pissed that I had to wake up early. I'm on short sleep. I'm mad that I'm there. I'm even more mad when I'm sitting in a class and I see that it was a waste of time and we didn't actually have to be there. But I'm also conscious of the fact that I'm in church and it's a bad look to be sitting there pissed in church as an adult. Obviously, I did that quite often as a child, but I know it's a bad look. Like, I know that this is not the energy you're supposed to bring to church, but like, how do I bring a different energy? How do I bring a different energy? How? You got me up out my bed to come down here to take a class that we didn't need to be in. I'm having to babysit my kids. I'm on short sleep. And y'all wouldn't answer the phone, or we maybe could have made some plans. Like, how do I bring a different energy, right? So I'm conflicted, right? I'm sitting there mad, but I'm also judging myself for being mad. I don't know if you've been in that situation where, like, you mad, you like, I need to fix myself and bring a different energy. But they don't deserve a different energy. They don't deserve a different energy. This is exactly the energy that they deserve. This is the energy they asked for. They demanded this energy. You demanded this energy from me. I'm trying to be as decent as possible, right? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's a phone call that the pastor has to take, and he decides, oh, you know what? I'm really sorry. I have to go. This is like an hour into the class now. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to go. I have to do a funeral. You guys make sure to turn the lights off on your way out. And he just leaves. Now I can react to this in one of two ways. I could say, okay, good. We done. Like, we get to leave. Like, I could react with some relief. We get to leave. Or I could also point out the fact that, okay, so we not coming again. And apparently, whatever it was else that you had to tell us wasn't important enough for you to tell us to read anything, or to tell us you'll send us an email with the information, or you to get somebody else in to teach the rest of the class. Apparently, whatever else you were going to tell us wasn't important at all. So why was this? You got us all the way down here to take a class that wasn't important enough for you to even finish, or for you to even make any provisions for us to get whatever the end of the lesson was. So was the first part necessary? You couldn't have just sent us a handout? All we got for the second half of the class was a handout. You couldn't have just sent us the handout? We had to come down here? I decided I decided I'm gonna choose A. I'm gonna choose A. I'm just gonna take a blessing. I'm just gonna take a blessing. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna choose A. I choose A. What was that Denzel said in Hurricane? Go, love's gonna bust me out. I said love's gonna bust me out. I don't know why that line was so funny to me. It's from the movie Hurricane. When Denzel was like, love's gonna bust me out. I said, all right, love busted me out. We good. We good. We good. So I'm excited to go home because I want to take a nap. I need to take a nap and refresh myself. And really, if I would have taken that nap, then I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in today with my sleep schedule all jacked up. So we leave. Kids have behaved beautifully. And we go out into the parking lot. Beautiful day, flowers and whatnot. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I was mad about that, but you made it through. And it's over now. So it's all good. So you remember that part that I mentioned to you about why exactly it was that the pastor had to leave the class? Said it was a funeral, right? Said, oh, I have to go do a funeral. I have to go. Just turn the lights off, right? So remember I said it was a funeral. We leave. We go into the parking lot. The entire parking lot, and I mean the whole thing, the entire parking lot was blocked in because they had all the cars from this funeral just parked down the middle of it. All the cars, just a line of cars. Think about it. You got a row of parks here, and you got a row of parks here. They had all the funeral people park right here. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Ain't nobody going nowhere. You got me down here for no reason. Now I can't even leave because you had a funeral and you didn't think to tell nobody that? You didn't think to tell nobody that. Or you didn't think to allow the people that might have been parked there because they had some other business, some way to leave? Nothing. I told you it's run like a Dollar Tree. I told you it's run like a Dollar Tree. It is one person's part-time job. It's one person's part-time job running everything. You can't tell me different. And certainly no productivity would point to anything different. So my dream of being able to go home and go take a nap, gone. I don't know what you was thinking. This is a nightmare that won't end. This is the nightmare that will not end. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm tight right now. I am extremely tight right now. I probably shouldn't be the one to go in there and see what the situation. Like, I probably shouldn't be the one. My wife is the nicest person, literally the nicest person I've ever known in my life. Right? She's the nicest, sweetest person I've ever known. That's why I married her. She's like this. She's the sweetest person I've ever met. Her and my sister, right? So if anything is going to get done with kindness, she gonna get it done with kindness. Problem is, as I told you, she don't get pissed. She's not capable, right? I am. I'm pissed right now. So I'm like, who do you send in? Who do you send in? Do you send in, you know what I mean? It's like a choose your player game. Who do you send in? Now, in In 95% of situations that we are confronted with, she gets sent in because of the way our society works. Okay, I thought that might have been my wife texting me about something. In 95% of situations, she's the starter. She's the starter. I'm the backup, right? She's the starter. You start with the niceties, and then I'm the backup. I get sent in to muck it up, okay? Or things aren't going well, I get sent in to change the nature of things, right? In this particular case, I was so done and so through. We decided to send her in again. So we sent her in. She goes in. She comes back out, and she says, they said it's going to be about 45 minutes to an hour. So come back in an hour. So now I'm out away from my home with 2 under 2. Not technically, but like, two under 2.5, right? I'm away from my home with 2 little ones on short sleep to come to a class we didn't need to go to, that didn't even get finished, and now you want us to mill around and waste an hour, which was my nap window. So now it ain't gonna be no nap. Ain't no nap, right? I'm so mad. I was so mad. It was just, you ever just like, in that moment, I said, you know what? I give up. I give up. I threw my hands up. I said, I give up. I give up. Whatever. I give up. And Supervillain, I see you commenting. He said I would have lost it. Well, we ain't through. I said, I give up. I give up. Whatever. My wife's like, oh, do you just want to walk home? We were like 30-minute. We were like a 30-minute walk from home. So I thought about doing that, but the kids were hungry. I was like, I can't just leave her by herself down here with these 2 kids. If it was just the 2 of us, I might have walked home, or maybe 1 child. But like, I felt bad. I didn't want to just leave her with 2 kids. Like, that felt like bad fatherly. So I decided, you know what? I'll just go. Whatever y'all want to do. So we decided to get breakfast. Breakfast was fine. Kids definitely were hungry, so it was good that we got them some food. Breakfast was fine. Breakfast was fine. I mean, I'm sitting there mad the whole time, but breakfast is breakfast. So we did that. I mean, I don't particularly like doing the Saturday impromptu pop up on brunch thing because you got a long wait and you got a whole lot of people. And I told you about the eclipse story. It's too many young people in a situation. I'm out. Well, this is like, I mean, you put yourself in the belly of the beast. Like, you put yourself in it. That's what I did. Like, I had no choice. We eat. It gets to be about 45, 50 minutes, right? So I'm like, okay, by the time we go back, it'll be an hour. We can leave, right? That's my plan. Get the check, pay it, we leave. So we're walking back to the car. And at this point, this is pretty much exactly when they said that everything should be cleared out. We get back to the parking lot, and nothing has moved. Nothing has moved. We are now 55 minutes into the hour that he said everything should be cleared out, and nothing has moved. So I decided, you know what? Let me go in and see what the situation. Now you're sitting in the backups, right? Now you're sitting in the backups. Like, we gonna see what's going on. So I walk into the church and there is a funeral going on, right? There's a funeral going on. So I got to be quiet and I got to be respectful, at least try and be. So the funeral going on, one of the church members, ushers, whatever, greets me shortly after I walk in. And I said, yes, you with the church? He said, yes. I said, yeah, we're blocked in. He goes, yeah, we understand that. We'll be done. And oh no, yes, this was it. He said, excuse me, are you with the church? He said, yeah. I said, yeah, we've been blocked in for over an hour. He goes, yeah, you know what? We'll be done in probably about another 30 minutes, another 30 to 40 minutes. We'll be done. I said, sir, I said we've been blocked in for over an hour. Now, this is a delicate situation because I'm in a church in the back of a funeral. So, you know what I mean? I said, sir, like, we've been blocked in for over an hour. He goes, you got to understand, this is a funeral. We can't just stop the funeral and tell. He started with, you have to understand. I got to understand. I got to understand. You got to understand, this is a funeral. We can't just stop the funeral and help. Boy, I got to understand. I got to understand. So your understanding of this situation is I'm asking you for a favor. Is that what we got? Is that what you think? I'm asking you for a favor? I'm not the one blocked in, right? I'm not the one that's blocked in. Y'all not the ones that decided to block in an entire parking lot. That's not y'all. I'm coming in asking you for a favor. Why you reacting like I'm asking you if I could use the sanctuary? Hey, I'm just wondering if I can go in and sing a couple tunes. Oh, you got to understand, this is a funeral. We can't just stop. Oh, I understand. Why are you reacting like that? I just want to leave. You stopping me from leaving. And that's on you. That's on you. You got to understand, this is a funeral. Did you know it was a funeral when you blocked all the cars in? Did you know? Did you think it was a birthday party? And all of a sudden they got there and we're like, oh, snap, this is a funeral. We're not going to be able to move the cars. You knew it was a funeral when you blocked everybody in, didn't you? Didn't you? You knew it was a funeral, and you knew you weren't going to be able to stop it, so you knew all them people was going to be stuck there until they decided to leave. You knew that, didn't you? Didn't you? Mm-hmm. So why you telling me then? Why you telling me? Bro, I was so tight. Like, I was so tight. And I was like, I mean, you reach certain points in life where you just don't care no more. You reach certain moments in life where you just don't care no more. It's a lot of people doing time right now because they have reached a point where they just don't care no more. Because they have been led to a place where all grace and peace is gone. That's real. There was a moment where that was a real possibility. I said, he does not deserve my grace. This church does not deserve my grace. I don't care no more. Fortunately, I found a way to convey my point. I believe I said something along the lines of, but you knew it was a funeral when you blocked everybody in, though, right? Oh, I'm sorry that we just can't. We just it'll be about 30 to 45, 40 more minutes. Oh, it looks like well, my wife did text me. Oh no. All right. Um, you ever just do like the disgusted walk away? I just did the disgusted walk away. There was nothing I could do. I just did the disgusted walk away. And it was so interesting because I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it as I left, right? Just how should you respond in a situation like that? Like how should you respond in that circumstance? Like how should you respond? Because in situations like that, I feel like the the circumstance is weaponized against me, right? The circumstance is weaponized against me. So like I can't react in a certain way because of the environment and the situation, which then enables you to behave and operate however you choose to behave and operate, which then makes me more angry because then I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. I am fortunate. I am feeling very grateful for the fact that I did not move forward with not caring. With when you reach the point where you're just like, I don't care no more. I'm grateful that I moved forward in that situation. That I did not move forward with that because as I just mentioned, it's a lot of people doing time for operating out of that place of not caring. So I am at least grateful for that piece. But man, that is that was my week. That has been my week. That was actually last weekend. So that actually predated the eclipse, and that predated what was the first thing I talked to y'all about? Yeah, that predated the eclipse. That predated me feeling sore. That predated the refs trying to take the game away from University of South Carolina. That predated all of those things. And they did try and take it away. They definitely did try and take it away. I won't hear otherwise. They definitely did try and take it away. Um, but maybe at the end of the day, all this is all of this is just a lesson on powerlessness, right? Because I'm watching the game and I feel like, how can they just allow this injustice to continue? We just saw them rip the game away from UConn, and now they're going to continue down the same path with South Carolina. Powerless, right? How about my body and my inability to be able to run and operate the way that I did before? Powerless, right? I'm powerless. I'm powerless in that situation. Certainly with regards to the church situation, I'm powerless. I was powerless. Um, how do you handle powerlessness? And how quickly do you get to a place of diagnosing it? That I think how quickly you get to a place of realizing you're powerless in a situation. I feel like once you realize that you have powerlessness in a situation, the acceptance and the peace can come relatively quickly. However, the path to getting to the place where you diagnose that you're powerless in the situation is a painful one. That is a very painful one. Like along the route while you are trying to, you're trying to affect change, you're trying to move things along, and you're unable to do so. That is extremely painful and angering and all of those things. So maybe that should be one of the first questions that I ask myself when I reach a place of frustration and anger is, do I have power in this situation? Am I powerless in this situation? And maybe if I would have done that, it certainly wouldn't have made the inaction and the misdeeds any better, any different. But my reaction to it would have been different. And so I guess that's the lesson that I can take from all this. I suppose that's the lesson for me to take from all this. The other part of that would be the difference between, like, the line between, like, accepting that powerlessness and, or let's see, the line. I think one of the things I've struggled with is the line between going forward in peace. Somebody comes at you wrong, and you recognize it, right? The line between deciding to detach yourself because you don't want to deal with it and you protect your peace, or being more assertive. And oftentimes you choose A, but that can also be an indicator of, like, a fear of confrontation, and you're actually not setting and protecting boundaries by always doing A. So, like, deciding when to do A and when to do B, that's like a super challenging part of my spiritual journey, and one of the ones that I've definitely struggled with. So, in any event, that was like the whole live was a rant. So there you have it. Didn't even get to play no videos. I'll have some videos next time I go live, probably, because I have no idea how it's going to look. I do plan to go live at some point from this channel next week. I don't know exactly when that is or when that's going to be, but stay tuned for that. I'll post it on the community tab. And you guys have yourself a beautiful weekend. And if you subscribe on my other channel, make sure to look out for a video. We'll have something for you a little bit later on today, so stay tuned. Much appreciated. And Super Villain, I appreciate you rocking with me, sir. Good morning to you, Mike. Good morning to you. George Henley said, "Old Sailor must not have been a black church. If it was, there's no way you would have bought that hour estimate." That's fair. That's definitely fair. All right. I appreciate y'all.